What's up? We got information on leagues today. Yesterday, we got information on Dominion, which is the new game mode, the 5v5 control point mode. Now we'll get to see a little bit of how the rank system is going to affect Dominion. It doesn't seem like we're going to have it in BR, so right off the bat, there you go. But yeah, we're just gonna start talking about it. Introducing leagues, our new ranked system coming in Chapter 2. Hello again. Today, we're going to talk about leagues, Spellbreak system for ranked play coming in Chapter 2. Like yesterday's post about Dominion, you can also click this link if you want to go. We're going to start out explaining our goals before diving into the details. League goals. When designing leagues, we had 4 high-level goals: competition, progression, flexibility, evergreen. So competition, obviously a ranked system hinges around players being able to compete with one another in a fair and exciting matches, but it also extends to being able to brag and show off as well. Progression. However, we didn't want to only appeal to competitive players. Leagues should also give new players a sense of mastery and a way to see that they're improving over the long term, which is kind of interesting actually. So it's not just about competitive players. It makes me think that they're going to make it a little bit easy to get high-ish, but then separate like the really good players from the high-ish skilled players. Flexibility. Any system we use should be flexible enough to work for a variety of game modes and with different content. We don't want to have to constantly rework the system or make lots of special rules for future modes. Okay, I'm into that. Evergreen. The league system should remain a source of content and play over time for anyone who chooses to engage it, be they new or veteran players. Sort of like a participation trophy, but not completely. How it works: leagues and tiers. At the core of the system, it's the concept of leagues and tiers. So the consolation trophy is what the participation trophy I mean, like more like the smaller, like bronze to like mid range is what I'm thinking. Everything above that's probably going to be very well earned. How it works: leagues and tiers. At the core of the system is the concept of leagues and tiers. Each league represents a fairly wide band of player skill and achievement and is in turn divided up into 10 tiers. Holy hell. Each league has 10 tiers, growing from 10 to 1. Each tier requires earning a number of crowns to advance to the next tier. More on crowns below. If a player earns enough crowns in the top tier of a league, they'll be promoted to the bottom tier of the next league. So it's going to go in opposite from 1 to 10, so 1 being the worst. For the launch of this feature, we'll have 6 leagues for players to climb: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and league legend. That is 10 tiers per each one. 10 tiers. 10 tiers. For example, at the time of writing, this may change before launch. It takes 1,500 crowns to go from bronze 10 to bronze 9. Wait, it may change between launch, which means that I don't understand that. 1,500 crowns to go from bronze 10 to bronze 9. If a player were in bronze 1 and they earn 15,000 crowns, they'd be promoted to silver 10. Seems like a lot. From 1,500 to 15,000. Okay. Once players reach the gold league, entering a match costs crowns as well. So you don't have to spend your crowns to go into anything from bronze and silver. Once you get into the gold, you have to start spending your crowns, which means you can lose crowns. It looks like from bronze to silver, bronze and silver, you won't lose crowns going into a match, but once you get to gold, you will. If you lose a match, then you'll lose crowns and you'll drop. These costs scale up in higher leagues as well. This means that if a player does not earn enough crowns in a match, they'll lose crowns and possibly drop a tier as well. However, every 5 tiers, we've introduced a floor that players cannot drop below. So once you get like to tier 5 of gold, you can't go below. Or I guess tier 6, you can't go below 5, I guess is what they mean. Once you get into silver, or once you get into gold, you can't drop to silver. Once you get into platinum, you can't drop down, is what it seems like to me. If a player manages to fight their way into platinum 5, they won't ever drop back to gold until the next season when things reset. I don't know if I like that. I think you should be able to drop. If you play badly enough. Accolades. Each league has a set of accolades that, if it achieved in a match, result in the player earning a number of crowns. Players can earn numerous accolades in a single match, and they come in a variety of forms, but all generally represent good performance. Example accolades include winning a match, exiling your opponents, doing damage, and so on. Accolades also scale with performance, so doing a lot of damage is worth more than doing just a bit. Okay, which we do have some issues with current accolades not really working, so I'm hoping that they got all of those handled, because sometimes if you got the top and you got some certain accolades, it didn't really actually give you the experience, so we'll see. It's important to note that not all accolades are available in all leagues. For example, in Dominion, vanquishing Valguard NPCs awards crowns in silver and below, while capturing a zone solo is worth crowns in gold and below. Oh, okay, so that's kind of interesting. So they have different accolades per tier and per ranked league that you're in. That's kind of interesting. That's it's very, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Things like winning a match, doing damage, so on are always worth crowns, no matter what league or player is in. Players can see their current crowns for match on the map screen. All right, so let's look at this for a second. So this is kind of what it's gonna look like. So it looks just like Dominion. So we got bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, legend. So it goes from 10 to 1. No, it goes from, yeah, 10 to 1. From least to, from like the highest number to the least, and then you go to platinum, right? That's what I'm thinking. So once you get to 6, you get above 6, you'll never go back down below that. That's kind of interesting. Okay, what's this video? Oh man. Look at this background. There's like snow and shit. This is that background, right? Seasons. The last major point of leagues are the seasons. As it stands now, each chapter has a season tied to it one by one. And the season provides a limited window of time for players to compete and rank up. At the end of the season, players are rewarded with an exclusive season-specific title and badge based on how high they've climbed. Okay, so we are getting rewards. It doesn't look like that skin is gonna be one though, unless it's down below. At the start of the next season, players have their crowns reset to a lower league and will get to climb again. Okay, unranked. Players can choose whether they want to play ranked, default, or unranked. So if they want to mess around with friends or try out new builds, they can do so without risking their current ranked, which is huge. They need that kind of thing. If they don't have that kind of thing, it's gonna be an issue. So I'm glad they did. In a party, this choice is based on the leader's current selection. So make sure you're paying attention when grouping up. Dominion. At launch, leagues will only be enabled for Dominion based on feedback and evaluation. Later seasons may include other game modes as well. I hope that doesn't mean BR, honestly. I really hope that doesn't mean BR. Matchmaking. Finally, matchmaking in Dominion is based on a player's current league, and the system tries to match up players of similar leagues. With the launch, I think it's funny that they said tries to match up players with similar leagues, which means you could potentially get different leagues within your matchmaking. With the launch of leagues, since all players will be in bronze, it will likely take some time for things to shake out and for players to reach a comfortable rank of their real skill levels. In terms of groups of players in different leagues playing in the same team, e.g. one player is on bronze and another is in diamond, matchmaking factors in all of the players and their ranks to come up with a composite score that can be used to determine how they should be matched against other teams. But what is that composite though? Like they might tell us in a minute. Matchmaking also attempts to balance teams based on stacking, such that if there's a team of 5 players grouped together going in, they'll be matched against a similarly organized team. That's huge. I don't know if people realize that's huge. I'm hoping it's going to be an averaged elo. It should scale to the highest a little bit higher, highest player level, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay to scale lower because you've got lower in the please. But I think it's cool that it's going to be matchmaking stacks together, or it's going to attempt to. An important note, the ranked and unranked queues feed into the same matchmaking pool. This is to ensure matchmaking times stay reasonable for everyone. There's some additional logic at play to ensure things are still fair, so you shouldn't see someone in Diamond playing unranked against a bunch of bronze players in ranked. Okay, that's kind of nice, actually. But we're going to keep an eye out in post-launch. Wrapping up, one last thing. We expect to be iterating on leagues based on metrics on your feedback. Simulations and models can only go so far, and we'll need long-term player data to help balance it. Thanks for reading. Looking forward to seeing which of you can rise to the best of the drop. Best of the best. Drop any questions below. I'll try to answer them. So that is that's leagues. There will be questions probably answered in the comments later. I'll try to post them on Twitter and in Discord and all those other things. We will also make a video later on about everything combined for what we know for Spellbreak Chapter 2. But that's leagues. It's in Dominion. If you have any questions, hit them up in the comments. Also, chat, say goodbye to YouTube. And guys, I love you, and I'll see you next time.
Yo, I'm hungry, where them Cheetos at? They stay biting like where them mosquitoes at. I'm on point like an elbow, hands red like Elmo. My mama said, have you had enough? I looked and I said, no ma'am, I go ham in the grocery store or Spanish and Takis.